there's a #1 strategy in the meta right now, and it's Druid Sub Ice, right? It's one of the most used strategies, and it's one of the strongest strategies in the game right now too. It's pretty much unkillable up to round 30, and usually by round 30, most strategies can't be scaled up fortified DDTs, so you just win with a fortified DDT all in, and you can all in harder than most other strategies because of the druids that you have. So I'm gonna try to get into the summary of the build, and then I'm gonna also walk through the specific key rounds, like what you want at each round metric, things like that, and why each tower is important and why it's Druid Ice sub and not something else. So as for the early game, this is round 1. You want to get 2 XX2 druids. The reason why you do this is because the tier 2 bottom path ability is called Heart of Vengeance. It causes the druids to gain attack speed when you leak lives. So the overall goal is to get 2 of these down and then leak about like a half of your life, give or take. There's a cap on it, I think around 30, so maybe 120 is the key, but I know they changed this. But once you have these guys and they leak a little bit, they become very, very powerful storm druids, right? So the top path tier 4 ability, it blows back balloons, which is very powerful. It's one of the strongest wave clears in the game. Only one other tower had this, and it was the helicopter, but the helicopter got nerfed in patch 1.1.1. so the storm druids are now kind of showing their head in the meta. They were always kind of strong, but nobody really knew about them, so it's interesting to see everyone starting to use them. We're at round 3. Round 4 is usually when you want to get your ice down. I know the round 5 is when white balloons come out, and so they're immune to ice. You can get around this by setting one of your druids to strong so that they pop the white, and then the ice cleans up the rest. So you can see I'm thinking about putting him in the back there, but I'm gonna put him in the front because I can just do the these 2 druids. You want to get them both chain lightning, and then that'll hold round 5, round 6, round 7. It's an extremely powerful ability. It looks very visually pleasing too, so I like this a lot. Just as like a little side meme, Elemental Shaman in World of Warcraft was like my favorite thing to play 10 years ago. So I'm gonna talk briefly real quick about why it's Druid Ice and Submarine. The druids synergize with the ice because of the top path. The top path can pop ice balloons on top of its lightning. Submarine is your camo detection. There were people using in late season 2 Wizard instead of Submarine in this composition. Wizard's pretty good because it has the Phoenix Lord ability and it gets some buffs, and the top path can pop mobs, all that good stuff. Wizard's pretty cool, but Submarine just technically has more power, and the way that Submarine fits into the build, specifically at round 12 with its abilities, is the reason why it's taken over Wizard, is because Wizard needs a lot of money for its ability, and you have to buy and sell the ability, so it costs a lot. So it's better usually around 20 to 30, dealing with DDTs, ZMGs, all that stuff. But the Submarine, right at round 12, you can get the 420 reactor, and that reactor is what allows you to get your economic druids up. And the economic druids are what let you get your icicle impale up, and that's what lets you become immune to all attacks for the first 30 rounds. So the wizard is kind of like a greed strategy, to where like if you have to play with wizard, then you kind of burn out your icicle impale and then you die on round 28. So players at the top started using Submarine because Submarine just fits into the pocket right there at round 12, allowing the economy to go up from 12 to 17 with your economic druids, and then massive defense up to round 26. Not just for that reason, but because of first strike, because of the bottom path AP darts, because of all that. It's just very strong, even when there's not a lot of water like in this map. So as you can see, round 12, you can consider getting Druid of the Storm, but here I go with the reactor play. Reactor is just the way to do it. It's just so cost efficient, and so now I'm able to get my economic stuff going. So to kind of remind you of the round codes, usually you want Churchill before round 9. Round 9 is kind of late, but you know, you have your Submarine for the camo, so you don't need his level 6, and you get his late game ability for the DDTs and fortified ZMGs. So round 9 is acceptable, though it's not like fully ideal. Now for your ice monkeys and stuff like that, for the round 17, round 18, for the early Moabs, those types, you want to get Embrittlement, which is the tier 4 top path. It's a lot more cost efficient than Icicle Impale. Icicle Impale is literally like 30k. You're not going to have it at like round 20 or round 22 most likely. So it's just much better just to get the Embrittlement, because the Embrittlement synergizes with the Druids and the Submarine. It's extremely powerful. I'll usually get the middle path, attack speed buff too, because I usually only have one ice monkey down at the time. If you have multiple, then you probably want to go the bottom path for refreeze. It works really well, but it's just player preference. No matter which one you choose, you can still hold the 30 rounds, you know. So round 16, we're just heavy economy right now. You see we got our druid farms up. I'm considering a second one, but just to make sure we go late game, I'm going to get this Embrittlement. This just kind of guarantees that we go another 10 rounds if needed. I could play riskier and all in sooner, and I was considering all inning at round 18, but it looks like with this super monkey, he's got overdrive and all that stuff. I don't think 4 fortified Moabs would get past. I'm gonna do it anyway because I want the knowledge. I'm gonna see what happens, and I'm willing to bet that I can still get my Icicle Impale before DDTs, so we're gonna figure it out. Usually a high peak like energy section of the game is round 17 to round 20. That's usually when like fortified Moabs, fortified Blimps, all that stuff. Round 22, fortified ZOMGs. That's like a big window of like attacks. And then if you survive those, then it usually goes to round 26, which is when DDTs pop their heads up, which can kill some specific strategies, but not all of them. And then round 28 onwards, that's usually just DDTs again. Round 30 is usually when a player will send fortified BADs just to put a timer on the game, because a lot of strategies don't pop them yet. But most of the time, a BAD will get halfway down the track, and then the opponent sends DDTs and wins the game. Like, it's pretty goofy how this game works. You see we got some fortified Moabs. Okay, I'm gonna get this pushback Druid real quick. That's gonna hold nicely. And then I'm gonna just keep going for my economy now. I need some heavy economic focus. These 2 Storm Druids, plus all of what I got, is going to easily hold anything. Now, usually around these rounds, you could also get Submarines. I'm really just going for more Druids, because I haven't put too much of an economic focus into this game yet. You can see I only have 3 farming Druids. Normally by round 21, you could have a lot more. But against aggressive opponents, it's good to kind of stack up just to guarantee your win. So right at around round 26, we want to try to get Icicle Impale. I'm at 26k. I'm going to sell one of these Druid farms so I can get it. That should hold. I'm gonna get one more Druid actually, and then I should be fine. But yeah, you can see you want to get your Druid farms up before round 26 so that you can afford Icicle Impale. I was cutting it a little close. Looks like the opponent's a little bit mad about that, but that's good for us. So, and of course you also want to attack. So it's round 28. We're gonna send triple fortified DDTs just to see how he holds up. Looks like he holds it nicely, so we're gonna go for a scaled up fortified DDT rush. So we're just gonna mega farm now and then wait for the DDTs to scale up a little bit and then send him again. He doesn't have nothing to kill us, and he seems like he's a little bit demoralized since we got Icicle Impale, so I bet he's gonna be playing passive, so we should be fine. Oh, it looks like we got a fortified BAD here. So it's round 32. I'm looking at his board. He definitely doesn't have enough to hold. I think since I went a little bit easy on the ice monkeys, I'm not going to be able to pop this thing. So we're going to let it get to about halfway. We're going to save up a little more economy, and then we're going to sell all of our Druids and then all in DDT. And so that should win us the game. Should be easy peasy. You can see this thing is just ridiculously slow, and if you pop it, you lose the game pretty quick. So we're just going to sell all our Druids as we do here. Nice little 30k in the bank. Nice. And we're just going to send DDTs, give a nice little boost, win the game. And there you go. As you can see, best strategy in the game. Immune for 30 rounds. Your opponents don't attack you post round 30, and then you just win the game. If you're looking for more strategy guides, leave them in the comments and I'll do them. Thanks for watching.